Crazy.
I remember Mark told me a long time ago about this guy. He said he went to a barber shop.
I was getting ready to say that. You remember?
The guy said, well, how you want your hair? He said, would you cut this side this side this way, cut this way, this way. He said, what you want us? That's what you did to me last time I came in here.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
The whole shop fell out, man. The shop fell out. My man came back. Said, you fucked my head up.
Welcome to the First 40 with the Goon Squad. It's Black Thor, Ice Water, and yours truly, Puma. We're going to start off this show talking about the late, great Sam Huff. I'm going to turn it over to Ice Water because he has a special story about Sam Huff and early in his career, in his writing career, journalism, sports journalism. And I'm going to give it to you, sir.
Appreciate it, man. Sam Huff was an all-time great. We talked off camera earlier about Sam Huff being in the all-decade team of the 50s. Rough, tough guys that were really strong, physical football players, and he was one of the best. So you think about a guy that made the all-decade team, not too many soft dudes play football back in the 50s, bro. So you had to give Sam Huff his due on that. Just a tough guy. Got a chance to meet him earlier in my writing career, writing for a newspaper back in the day. Columbus Calling Post was a staple back in Columbus, Ohio. My first story that I was assigned to was in the sports department. Sent me over to the Ohio State University football field to kind of check out some dignitaries, former NFL vets. There was some kind of special of ceremony they had over there. I had no idea who was over there. I heard, it might be this guy, and I'm like, I'm thinking to myself, this is my first story. I'm going over here with some old retired dudes that I don't know who the hell they're gonna be. I get over there, I see Sonny Jurgensen. I see Gale Sayers. I'm like, oh my God. So more and more it started to open up, and there's some great football players, and my eyes are like really blown up. And one of the people over there too was Sam Huff. And just a really nice man. I kind of threw some history at him. He appreciated it and whatnot. And it was just good to meet him, just really nice talking to him. I think sometimes we forget that some of the older guys that play football, some of those veterans, even some of those legends, they love being recognized, man. They love people that remember when they played or remember they were a household name back in the day. He was such a nice man. The ironic twist to this quick story is the fact that during my career, I've met a lot of different people over the years and covered a lot of the stories. I mean, NBA All-Star games. I mean, a lot of everything. You name it, I've probably been there. And I'm not one there are some reporters that like to get their picture taken with a star or somebody, right? I've never been that guy. I can probably count on my hands how many times I've actually done that, but I never was that guy because I always thought this was about, even if I was there, even with Muhammad Ali, I didn't try to take a picture with him. I took his picture. But my big thing was I never was big on pictures. I never was huge on taking pictures. So I'm standing there talking to Sam Huff. Up walks this other gentleman, older guy, and I'm looking. I said, I know him. And I look at him, and he says, hey, how you doing? I just start talking to both of them and whatnot. And then I said, can I get a picture of the two of you? And they're like, yeah, come on, no problem. And then the other gentleman that walks up says, you need to get a picture in here too. We need to all get in here. I was like, Mr. blah, 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 I don't need to do that. And he said, I don't want to hear that. He's talking to this guy. He said, saw this little guy walking across the field. He said, hey, come over here. Come over here. Get your ass over here. Take this picture. I hand him the camera. I'm in the middle of these two guys. The other guy, along with Sam Huff, is Ray Nitschke, bro.
Wow.
Yeah. So that picture is timeless. Ray, I'm in the middle of two legends, Ray Nitschke and Sam Huff. So yeah, always both of them were just great dudes and tough motherfuckers, bro. That's all I know. That was an honor and a pleasure. That was my first assignment at that newspaper.
All right, and restful and peaceful journey to Sam. Well, let's go to another story in the NFL. It came out last week, right after we got the show. Black John Gruden is suing Roger Goodell in the NFL. Why is he doing this? What's going on with this?
It's not even a story, man. That's a white man that think he was unjust, even though he got paid millions to go away, bro. That's not a story. I mean, here it is, simple case in point. Here's a man that was beloved by the NFL for not basically for his talents, just a mere fact that, in my opinion, Al Davis gave him a chance to coach him when he was young, and the mystique, Raiders mystique, he kind of carried that and basically was given a Super Bowl that Tampa Bay really rightly should have had with Tony Dungy. And ESPN allowed him to be up there and talk junk for years. And I remember Mike Tirico said he traveled with him. He always said, Mike, I don't believe you, bro. To be honest with you, I don't believe you. Because people that speak like that and talk like that, they don't always do it behind closed doors and always do it in emails. You just tolerate it because it was John Gruden. He went along for the ride. So the mere fact now, I don't even know who lawyer, maybe he filed this without a lawyer, bro. Because you really think you have a shot in winning any money? What, clarifying your name? Basis on pounds. I mean, let me just say this. They can basically cut players, do whatever they want. You act like a buffoon in emails, and they remove you from the shield, and you think you got a right to come back and sue? On what grounds? So to me, I mean, if I never say his name again, I'll be happy. It's not even a story, bro. It's not, I mean, realistic, nothing to even talk about. I mean, I know we throw things out there, but this is idiotic at his best. It's a white man that his pacifier was taken away from him, and he's crying, and his diaper is full, and he don't know why, because his mom is not there to clean up his mess.
Yeah, I kind of look at this as a way of trying to get into coaching, not in the NFL, but in college, trying to say, listen, I'm going to clear my name. I'm going to fight the NFL. You know, I ain't got nothing else to lose, but to just come out there and start swinging so that maybe down the road, maybe a few years down the road, people will not smell the stink of this and give him a shot on the college ranks. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm not sure if he's really trying to get another job. I do think he's trying to clear his name. I really do, from the standpoint of he's probably looked at other people and thought they did a lot worse. And the bottom line of it is he got caught, right? He got caught. They were going along with it. Everything was fine. He was the guru of quarterbacks. And before the draft, he was bringing guys in and they were breaking down plays for him. And then all of a sudden, he got a little loose and then it came out. It's like anything else. I say that about anything that, you know, we all have dirt behind the scenes, stuff like that too. And if you're in that limelight, you never know, something might actually come out. So he got caught. Other people, you know, Mike Tirico did everything he could not to talk about the man. He's like, I mean, but if it is what it is, I mean, you can say what you want to. Well, I see him during the week, he's a great man, but if he's doing stuff behind the scenes and stuff that's foul, you got to say, look, hey, wrong is wrong. But he did everything he could because that's who Mike Tirico is. He tries to make everything nice, but some things are not nice. And, you know, John Gruden, you know, went to the University of Dayton. So, you know, down this way. So we know a little something about that. Not saying we knew about it back then, but he had a very nice life coming up. He got a lot of opportunities because of his dad, right? And it's kind of like a Lane Kiffin type situation. But when you're wrong, you're wrong. And when you get caught, the best thing you can do is own up to it and say, I messed up, I'll try to do better. But instead, he's going after the league, trying to clear his name and make it better. I don't see him getting another coaching job, but I've been wrong before. I don't see that because anytime you're dealing with players and you're dealing with something as sensitive as to what was going on with him, somebody is going sooner or later going to be offended. You just can't do it.
Yeah, I'm thinking if not a coaching job, maybe trying to get a gig as a broadcaster, something like that. It's almost, I don't know, man. I don't know why he's doing this. And I don't know why he's going after Roger Goodell and the NFL. That's the kind of thing that's been, you know.
I mean, realistically though, who's going to hire John Gruden?
That's in my head. Who's going to hire him? But in his head, he think he got a shot.
No, he doesn't. He's
in his head, he thinks. I think in his head, he thinks he does.
Yeah, he's trying to stay relevant, bro.
Yeah.
He's trying to stay relevant because he feel like he was. In other words, here again, his life has been taken away from him. I got to blame somebody. Instead of being honest with himself and look in the mirror and understand it, and that's what a lot of white men do. Let's be honest. They sit around, they blame everybody else, and that's when they mad at us as black men because they believe we came over and took their country. We're taking it. No, we built this fucking country. We didn't take your country. So my point is they blame everything else without looking in the mirror and realizing, what did I do wrong? And for the longest time, this country will allow them to do so. But the NFL said, no, we're not carrying your garbage along with us. So he's not trying to get a job in coaching, a job in college. That's beneath John Green. He wouldn't take no job in coaching. He's trying not to get on television. He believed he was done unjust because that's how much of an idiot he is, bro. He's an idiot. John Green's an idiot. But like I said, this is based on his career was given to him. He didn't earn it based on his father. It was given to him. So to me, that's clear black and white, bro. It's not about him trying to get another job or the case may be. He got probably 40, 50 million to walk away. If you ain't dumb enough to take that, go live your life, then sue the NFL. And I hope some lawyer that you pay takes half of that money. Yeah. Yes, trying to win the NFL. For case that you're not, that's going to get thrown out at some point. Keep going.
Thanks for the segue. Carlos Carrera, who says Derek Jeter, Ice, didn't deserve his Golden Gloves. And I'm thinking, man, you should be the one to talk, because didn't y'all just cheat in a World Series? Oh, come on, man. Come on, bruh.
Oh, my God.
What's this dude smoking, bro?
I don't know. First of all, my biggest problem with it is, why are you talking about another man? It's like talking about another man's money, right? It's almost as if you wish you had his money, so therefore you like, he don't deserve that money. I mean, you mad at him because they didn't give it to you. I mean, that's my problem with it. And however he got him, I mean, I found that very difficult to say he didn't earn any of them. Derek Jeter was no slouch in the field. So you basically say he didn't earn them. But then again, like you said, they've been on the Astros because they've been cheating and whatnot. But it's just a factor that this dude had a nice glove. I remember there was one play they played in the playoffs, the Yankees that is, and he ran in the third base line, out third base line, and ran into the stands. And the ball went into the stands. He fell inside the stands. He came back up. He split the bottom of his chin open, bro. Yeah. Needed stitches and came out with the ball. And was like, tape me up. They went over there. They didn't even stitch him at the time. They just taped him up, put him back out there, bro. And he was still bleeding. I was like, you can't tell me, because it's not like guys that would do that. That's Golden Glove, that's Golden Glove talent right there. But to hear another man come out and say what you don't deserve, and he's won it repeatedly, somebody sound like somebody feeling themselves, or they mad, or they just pissed off. How can you say another man doesn't deserve something to the
Hall of Famer, five-time world champion, and the face of the franchise still?
Yeah, I mean, I don't get that unless you got tape like Odell's dad. Anyway, that's another story. But unless you can prove something, how you talk about another man's Golden Glove prowess? And like you said, a Hall of Famer, top-notch guy. He must have done something wrong. They must have lost to Derek Jeter in the World Series, or Triple Way when they played Columbus Clippers or something. Something is wrong. You got to burr up his behind for this man. I don't know why. But why would you go after that? Even if you feel some kind of way, why would you come out? It sounds like straight hate, talking about another man's accomplishments.
Black, I can't prove this, but this sounds like a hate that comes from Derek Jeter. Went through a lot of women in his career. Maybe Carrera tried to meet one of them women and they're like, nah, you're not Derek Jeter. And this is where the hate comes. Well, he don't deserve all this. He didn't deserve all this. I know you're not one of the biggest Derek Jeter fans, but I know you wouldn't even say he's not.
No. Let me correct you, bro. I am a huge Derek Jeter fan.
Okay.
No, let me correct you on that all the way. But no, I may not follow baseball that closely, but, and I probably said this on the show, Derek Jeter would bring you to the ballpark. He would bring you to the TV. He just was, especially in playoff time, World Series. I tuned in, bro. I remember they was playing the Red Sox one year, bro, and I think he came up and kept knocking the ball out of the park. Big Derek Jeter fan, because his work ethic and what he stood for and how he played the game, besides how he was off the field. But I'm listening, when I saw this question, and I thought a little bit when I saw the guy, the cat that's saying it, it seemed like I'm assuming he's Spanish, something of that nature. Puerto Rican. And then I thought maybe it might have been, that type of Puerto Rican on Puerto. I said, no, Derek Jeter's not Puerto Rican, because I don't understand your angle in going after him. In a sense, and I don't think it has nothing to do with women. I think it's just a mere fact of sometimes people look at you and don't like you for who you are based on the success who you are. And I think he has a hard time allowing himself to look at Derek Jeter. Derek Jeter's well loved, bro. Well, like you said, even with the Yankees now, I don't think the Yankees been the same since Derek Jeter had retired, in my opinion. But sometimes people look at you for who you are, what you stand for. They know they fall short, and they're just mad at you. It's not even about hate. They're mad because they cannot measure up. So when they say things like this, you come off sounding stupid. And to me, it's just that simple, bro. It's just, I mean, if you got something legitimate on Derek Jeter, guess what? Bring it. But to say he was short of something that he did and everybody can view it and see it for himself, bro, you're not even talking the side of your mouth. You're talking about me underarm. As far as I'm concerned, bro.
Yeah, go lower.
Yes.
When you come to that. Check the resume, Carlos. Check the resume of Derek Jeter before you open your mouth. Let's go to college. And I'm not going to pull this card on it, but I'm trying to figure out, because I gave the committee another week, Ice, to explain to me why Michigan is ahead of Michigan State. The Michigan State coach, which is Black, just got an extension, 10-year extension, and probably the highest paid African-American coach in college football. So please explain to me why this is the way it is, the second week in a row.
And when evidently they're not going by head to head, we know that.
No.
Head to head is not major. Maybe it's the point that they thought they're more impressive otherwise. And the game between Michigan and Michigan State was very close. Michigan State had to pull it out. And who knows? I know maybe they think they got a better chance to move up, but I truly don't understand it. But Michigan State it's going to be rectified one way or the other this week anyway. If they do well, they're going to be right where they need to be, perhaps. And then if they lose, they're going to be somewhere they don't want to be. So I don't understand it. Like I told you, right now it's getting closer, but I really don't get all caught up into the four in the standings right now, because it's going to play itself out. That's the beauty for everybody. Cincinnati keep winning and hopefully Alabama lose. You be right where you need to be. But other people control their own destiny. So right now, I'm like, I don't know. I mean, I'm going to pull a Black door. It ain't really relevant right now because of the point that like, it ain't really relevant because Michigan still got to try to do this and that. And I don't know why y'all, they not even in the top four. So why are we talking about them? But anyway.
I don't even need to go to Black door at this particular time.
You're going to be surprised at this one, man. You'll be surprised because I was thinking the same thing. But I do remember watching that game. And I was listening to Corso. And he made a very good point. He said that that they might just believe, and I will probably sign off on this, and I'm not saying it's right, but that they might believe that Michigan just is a better team, even though they lost to them. And I think I watched Michigan play, and Michigan, and what I have to say is more of a sounder team on both sides of the field. Michigan State has a great running back, bro. That bro right now, I don't know if he's age qualified. He can go right to the pros. Right now, he ain't even got to play any more games. He can go play for probably Jacksonville.
No, not Jacksonville.
Or Detroit. Right now, I'm playing NFL. But as a team itself, I don't think they're as strong. And I'm surprised because I got to give Harbaugh credit. This is the best team I've seen him put on the field as a unit of players. They're playing aggressive. They're playing spirited. So that's the only small reason I can see justifying it. Outside of that, it really doesn't make any sense. But I'm happy to hear that the coach of Michigan State did get an extension because he did deserve it. He does deserve it. And like I said, the next few weeks, a lot of apples going to fall off the tree, bro. A lot of apples going to come down because if you ain't ready right now, it's going to be some rumbling going on and we see what's going to happen. I'm just hoping after the rumble goes on, everything settles, teams that don't deserve to be there, Notre Dame, teams such as that's outside now, finds a way to slide in because I know everybody wants to go 8, not everybody, some people want to go 12, whatever, and they're going to make some changes. All I want is when the top 4 settles down, let those top 4 be worthy and let the games that be played from that point on be good games. I don't want to show up and within the first quarter, you're down by 30, 40 points like Notre Dame is when they get there. I don't want that this year. That's all I'm saying.
I guess what I'm trying to figure out is that Cincinnati beats Notre Dame head up, but they can't get a playoff spot. You keep trying to move Notre Dame up. And at some point, I think if things kind of fall a certain way, I wouldn't be surprised if they move Notre Dame ahead of Cincinnati, even though Cincinnati hasn't lost a game. They keep talking about Alabama. If they lose 2 games, are they still a playoff team? I think no. I think not. So if you beat a team, if Georgia beats Alabama, they're out. I don't want to see the two same teams going back and forth in the playoffs. You're out. It's almost like you're afraid, like Alabama's a spoiled child, and you're afraid to take the binky from them. It's almost like that kind of thing. It's like, oh, you can't go in the playoffs right now. Okay, if you lose 2 games, but if you play Georgia close, then we'll still put you in. No, if you lose, head up. It should be that the man who lost goes down in the totem pole, and you go up in the totem pole. But it just seems like college football is making it so difficult, and people can't figure out why the rankings are the way they are, and who is on this committee deciding who plays who.
Well, let's get real for a second here, bro. I mean, I'm hoping Cincinnati can kind of do what they have to do. Their strength of schedule is not that strong, and they just allow teams to kind of hang around. They just do. They win these games like this past weekend. You got to be smoking people, bro. You got to, some of these teams that should not be on the field with you, you got to go out and get stylish points. You can't kind of play them and just walk off the field. Alabama brings money. They just do. Alabama, that's a lot of old money down there, bro, that they bring. In a sense where TV ratings, money of travel, it's just tourism. Alabama breeds money. Same thing with Notre Dame. They just do. As much as we won't, like I just said, I don't want to see them in there, but you know how many old Notre Dame fans rally and will show up and spend money? So at some point, you got to throw that into the equation. As much as we want to see what's on the field, and look, same thing with Michigan State. Who has the bigger pot? Michigan. It is what it is, bro. So at some point, it's a factor. I'm sure somebody, there's probably a phone that sits on the table of the committee that they dial them up before they do. Okay, well, this one brings this percentage of money. Stick them in. Because money is playing a part with this, bro. Whether you want to believe it or not, money plays a part. I believe, honestly, this is mine. I said this a couple weeks ago. Alabama should not be in the top 4. No. They should. No. Alabama should be sneaking around 5, 6. They should not be. The way they played this season, they don't deserve to be in the top 4. Now, could they win and get back in if they were outside? Yes. But there's no way if they play Georgia, they won Saturday, but they looked that good themselves. And I'm starting to think Georgia might slip up and have a couple of losses going on. I would not be surprised. But Georgia don't look like a dominant team to me like they did early in the season based on who they might be playing. But if they beat Alabama, there's no way Alabama should be even talked about being in the top 4. You can't, bro. You just can't. Alabama played New Mexico City this past week and smoked them. I'll say it again. New Mexico. When the last time they had a good football team? Yeah. Let's stop playing this game, man. Let's stop. It's about money.
Here's the consequence of it being about money, Ice. That the best team won't win the championship. If you're factoring in all these other things outside of what happens on the football field, then you're gonna get to a point where the best team is not winning the national championship. Your thoughts about this?
Yeah, I can see that. But I mean, the way it plays out is one of the best teams is going to make it, though, right? I mean, from that standpoint, I mean, some people might say Cincinnati is one of the best teams. Unfortunately, their strength of schedule is not going to let them get in unless you have a couple teams lose. So if Alabama loses, let's say a couple other teams have two losses, then you make an argument for Cincinnati to move up. So unfortunately for Cincinnati, it's just the schedule, strength of schedule is hurting them. But they had an opportunity this weekend because they play a very strong SMU team. SMU is like 8-2. And that's not going to be easy. I'm not saying that they're not going to win the game, but that's going to be strong. So if you really want to continue to make an argument for Cincinnati, the Bearcats have to maybe perhaps dominate this game. You got to wear the opponent. You got to dominate them so other people go, hey, maybe we'll look at them again. But I mean, it's been some wild, quirky stuff. I know you talked about that before, but for the 4, it just has to come down to right place, right time. You mentioned about Michigan State, they were up there, then they took a loss. And now, when you mentioned Ohio State is they got to put them out. They got to, put up or shut up. play Michigan State at home this weekend. Next week, they go to Ann Arbor.
Yeah.
So it is what it is. It is what it is. So, I mean, hey, you want it, grab it and let's go. Otherwise, you lose. Nice try.
Yeah. So some of the games, Black, you're going to be checking out this weekend because there's some good games and games that's going to turn the tide in college football.
Michigan State, I forgot who they're playing, but I think it's Ohio State.
Ohio State.
Yeah. There it is, my brother. There it is. I mean, that's what I'm saying. There's going to be some rumbling going on. I'm not going to say in the jungle, but it's going to be some rumbling because to me, if Michigan State's about it, which I'm not sure they're ready yet, because Ohio State to me is catching their groove, bro. They starting to look like they get into that home stretch and they catch their groove. I didn't think Oklahoma was much about it. You saw what happened to them. So here's what's going to happen. At some point, you know, Michigan State, I think it's going to slide down, and Michigan's got to prove it. And the only way they can prove it, in my opinion, deserve to be there, they got to take down Ohio State. So a lot's going to go through Ohio State. At some point, you know, got to go through Georgia as well. But that's the game of the week right there, bro. Michigan State and Ohio State, somebody's walking away crying.
All right. Ice?
Yeah, I want to throw one other game that this past week, if I can, just for people to go check out the replay and the highlights. It was Mississippi State versus Auburn. Auburn was up 28-10 at halftime. Mississippi State scored 33 points in the second half. They win the game 43-34. Man, you talk about something else. But in regards to the game I want to watch, I mentioned to you before, SMU Cincinnati. I'm going to leave you with that other one, that other pick, Puma. But one game I want to watch, and I don't know why, I don't know, this team shows up sometimes they don't. But if I'm not mistaken, Michigan travels to Maryland. And it will be perfect for Tua to kind of, along with that coach, to upset the world, shock the world at home by defeating Michigan. Because they can score a lot of points sometimes. Now, sometimes they have bad spots. But what better way than to kind of, change things up in the college football world by beating Michigan before they get ready for their big dance with Ohio State. So that's the game I'm definitely going to be watching.
Okay, real quick, Ice. Jimbo Fisher. I hate to say it, all these rumors that he's going to leave Texas A&M, and he's left teams before. So what's this deal with him going to LSU, where I guess he coached with Saban at LSU? That job is going to be open at the end of the year. He's saying, absolutely not. He's not going anywhere. But Jimbo Fisher, he will change his mind in a snap. Your thoughts on this?
Well, it's hard because, everybody has a price. That's one thing nobody talks about. We talked about that the other night. Everybody has a price. Oh, I would never do that. Okay. But, ask Butch Beard why he went from Texas Tech to Texas and coaching basketball. Everybody has a price. So I think he has to look at the package. Texas A&M has been really good to Jimbo, right? But
$9 million a year good.
Yeah, but then again, LSU has that cash, and if they go deep in their pockets, let's say they go to about 15 million and whatever. I know that's bizarre and crazy, but you never know where, you have to.
Fisher. Oh.
Yeah, but but people want to win. They're desperate to win.
But he ain't winning at Texas A&M.
Huh?
He ain't winning at Texas A&M.
I got one. You might be right when you say that, but I got one question for you. What's the only team that beat Alabama this year?
Texas
A&M. Okay, I'm waiting. But he ain't winning no games, right?
He ain't gonna be in the top 10.
But then again,
the top 10.
We know what it is. In the SEC, the only thing that matters, if you try to win the national championship, win the SEC, or beat Alabama. That's all that matters down the SEC. You can get 29 recruits at an off-centered school like Texas A&M if you beat who? Alabama. You remember last year we beat Alabama. We beat them convincingly. Guys like, we're going to keep running it. That goes a long way. Alabama almost has their own network. They got their own reporter. And you beat Alabama, supposed to be one of the top 2 teams in the world. And then you come up and beat them. Jimbo Fisher, like, what else you want me to do? So, you say what you want to, but everybody knows. It's like Michigan if they ever beat Ohio State again. Alabama, you take down the big, bad Alabama. That goes a long way with places like LSU and Texas A&M. Don't play Jimbo cheap now. You said you want to, but Alabama has one loss. And I'm going to ask you one last time. Who beat Alabama?
Okay, Muhammad Ali. Black, what's your thoughts? Jimbo Fisher, is he gone?
I don't think so. I don't think so. I mean, I don't think so. I think they got to come better. It's hard to believe they got better than 9 million, bro. It's just hard to believe. If I was Jimbo Fisher, I wouldn't go. This is my personal opinion, because if you're getting 9 million from Texas A&M, and this LSU is going to bring on bigger expectations, bro. They just don't. You're at Texas A&M, you get 9 million. You're creeping up on people slowly. Eventually, get that program to where you want it. Build some longevity. You show up at LSU, they're going to give you 6 months. You got to get it done. I'm being honest, man. You got 6 months to show up there with your name and your credentials to get it done. And if you don't, you're going to look like a loser. And you're not beating Alabama next, at least for probably maybe a year or two. So to me, 9 million is 9 million. And I know they may come with 13 or 14, but the expectations that's going to come with that.
Yeah, you got to win.
Yeah, you got to show up and win right away. Right away. They're not going to give you a long time to get it going, bro. So Texas A&M is not a bad gig. They're paying you well. Everything is bigger than Texas, man.
I'm going to take a swig of my nog before I go into the next topic here. Now, I know last week I said I wasn't really too excited about college basketball. But I had to text Ice the other night after the UCLA Villanova game. That looked like a tournament game. They were going at it. And I'm like, wow. I mean, it just lathered me up right for basketball season again. To come out like that in the first game, I'm like, okay, I'm back. Give me an eye test, Black, in college basketball, because you said you're going to be watching.
I watched it, man. I'm going to start with that game right there, bro. I'm going to start with that game. I mean, realistically, UCLA. And it's funny because I'm watching the game and I hear the name, but I don't, the name of the coach, UCLA. And I hear the name and I go, you know, your mind starts to circulate real quick. That's right. He should coach Cincinnati. This ain't Cincinnati here no more, bro. That UCLA got a team, man. And then, you know, that was a good game. Then you look at Gonzaga, who was up there. And I think Timmy dropped, what, like 30 some odd points on somebody the other night. So I'm just going to say this, man. I'm excited, and I'm watching a little earlier than I usually do. I don't know how that's going to play out in the tournament. We don't know, because usually I come in late, just kind of clean, you know, and do my thing. You know, I do my thing. But I will say this, man. I was surprised he said that last week, because you always say this is the best time of year for college basketball. So coming off what was last year and what you were saying last week, I'm like, it just didn't matter. But I'm glad you got it back, because that's just what, early, bro. That's early. There's a lot of good teams out there. And think about college basketball now that I've noticed early that even though that was a good game, there's more teams where they're equal. They toss the ball up now, you're just getting good play, bro. Because now these players aren't running to try to get to one school. I'm one and done. I'm out of here. And I don't know if you're going to talk about it, man, but I know you talked about Duke last week with Duke being well. There's some stuff going on in Dookie land, bro.
Oh, yeah.
There's stuff going on in Dookie.
You're talking about the grandson? Sure. Yeah, we can talk about it later. But their basketball team, I'm going to talk about their basketball team. They got some ballers at Duke. They took down Kentucky in one of the first games. And Ice, I'm gonna turn it over to you, man, because I got excited over that Villanova game. And I was hoping Villanova didn't drop too much after that game. They need to stay right in that 4 or 5, because I didn't know if they're gonna bring a good team like that to UCLA. But the UCLA coach, man, he has a toughness about him, and he's brought it to that team. They play tough no matter, because I thought at one point in that game that Villanova had him and UCLA would not go away. They kept banging, and Tiger Campbell kept, balling and getting that team. And they were without 2 of their good players on that team, and they still banged it out, and they still won. And I say, and I take nothing away from Gonzaga, but I say UCLA is the number 1 team in the country.
Wow. I can't say too much about UCLA, because I have not been the biggest fan of Mick Cronin, but he has a very talented team at UCLA, very talented. And he, with his toughness, I think he finally got a team that might listen to him and they really can understand where he's coming from. So they helped him as well. We got a long way to go. That's all I'm gonna say. So this is his time. I'm not gonna take from him, but they're very talented. Villanova's very good as well. Gonzaga's, I mean, with the big freshman center, they look like they look prime and ready already. And then Texas quit shooting threes and learn how to go inside a little bit. They can hang around. There's some very good teams out there. I mentioned Memphis before. Kansas is kind of ringing the bell. A lot of talent. I think Michigan is going to be a good team this year as well. So a lot going on. So I tried to take Pumas. He got all excited and everything. So he said, I didn't think I was going to watch it or anything like that. I said, well, turn it off. Remember, it's not any good. Don't watch that game. Turn it off. I kept teasing him. I said, turn it off. Because you can't be grilled this early, right? You're not even ready for it. I said, turn it off. He said, I'll watch it. I'll watch it. But two other games you might want to watch this week too. Villanova back again versus Tennessee. Tennessee's up and coming with Rick Barnes down there as well. And North Carolina, Puma's favorite team versus Purdue. Purdue is a team to watch. Especially coming out the Big Ten. So two more for you to kind of get close to. Puma, what you gonna do when you keep coming up with these matchups? You got to watch out. You got to stop watching football.
You got to stop. And I found myself doing that. I had to stop watching football and watch basketball. And I think North Carolina, to me, is ranked too high. We'll see what they do against Purdue. Purdue has a really solid team. Duke also. Texas kind of shocked me a little bit, but Shaka Smart up in Marquette. They took down Illinois over the weekend. And he has a pretty solid team. The only thing about his team that I have a concern with is there's no standout player, like that one superstar player on their team. So they do play more as a team, but Illinois, I think they had like 27 turnovers in that game. Marquette was turning them over a lot in that game, and they don't have the communication because you have your back towards the basket, you're dribbling the ball and up at the center line, and then another player comes to steal a ball and nobody yells like, double team, nobody yells anything. They steal the ball, get the lead, and then the rest is history. But Shaka Smart's doing pretty good so far in Marquette. So I'm sitting here watching the Bulls and just beat down the Lakers. I mean, just beat them down. You got Lonzo Ball playing out his mind. You got DeRozan playing out his mind, and Levine just jumping out the gym here in Chicago. And I'm sitting there, Black, thinking, why can't the Knicks have a team that's high flying and showtime like the Bulls? It seems like the franchises are stuck in kind of like the way they play. Like the Bulls have, the high flying with the Jordan era and the alley-oops and all exciting basketball. The Knicks, I don't care what team they get, it's the grind it out, dun, 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 dun. No showtime. It's New York. It's the city of lights. No showtime. It's like the more things change, the more things stay the same. But I want to get off the Knicks and the Bulls because I'm probably one of the only New York Knicks fans in Chicagoland at this particular time. But why can't we have nice things like the Bulls have?
For some reason, the Knicks got stuck in an era of Pat Riley, and that's the closest the Knicks came in a long period of time since the Willis Reed era of winning the championship. And maybe that's what Dolan think we have to do this. But the problem here with the Knicks, even now, and I watched them a little bit over the season, it's too much one-on-one basketball. Now, I saw a couple of games where they did pass a little bit, but when things get tight, it's like, I'll give it to me, and that's not going to win anything, bro. But I can't knock him because he was the coach of the year last year, if I was correct. I'm correct. But when you hire that type of coach, that's what you're going to get, bro. He's not flashy. He wants to basically win it with defense and grit. And, that might have been okay 10 years ago, but NBA now, bro, it's a little different. I mean, it's more offensive of a game than it's a defensive game. Now, you don't get me wrong, defense is going to win you some games, but you got to go out there and do some things and kind of light it up in the NBA now. So I hear what you're saying. So I think that's what it is. And I think Chicago, for some reason, realized, you know what? Bring this young influx of talent in. We're not going to win right now, but we're going to look good. We're going to sell it to the fans. We're going to bring some excitement, and you build towards the future. And that's one that the Knicks really aren't doing. They're trying to act like they're winning it now, but the future is not looking like we're building towards it anymore. I love the fact what they did to the Lakers, bro. I mean, I love the fact what happened to the Lakers, what's going on with them. And people thinking, Laker fans are thinking LeBron's going to show up, it's going to be different. I don't think so, bro. I'm looking at players every week. It seemed like there are players that's popping up that could have helped this team that LeBron probably vetoed and didn't want to come there. DeRozan said he was waiting to go to LA. DeRozan, it's like, you bring in Westbrook, you bring in Jordan, you bring in Howard, all these players that can't, if you put them together, can't give you a good stat sheet. And same thing we talked about last week with Buddy. And it's like you bring in, I know he's your boy, you bring in Carmelo Anthony. I'm just saying, sometimes in business, your boys aren't what you should be hooking up with. You got to get business done. You drink with your boys later at night. So I don't get it, man. I'm watching the 76ers, and I know 76ers might be going through a little things, but I think in the long run, this team is going to be better off because you got the young players out there, Mackey, the rest of them, they're growing up in front of your eyes, and they're starting to kind of define themselves. And maybe by the end of the season, they're going to start to pay dividends. Because I thought the same thing last year with Golden State, bro. Golden State had his young players out, and they was playing. They was yelling on the screen at. Look at Golden State's bench now, bro.
Yeah.
They go to the bench now, and it's like, it's a totally different team, and they have grown up, they matured. And you and I talked about this before we got started. I'm assuming, can't say I know, Kevin Durant's kicking himself in the ass, bro.
Yeah.
You left the Golden State Warriors to go play in Brooklyn with a player that doesn't want to play now, doesn't want to get shot, doesn't want to play. He'll probably come back after Christmas and take a shot or two and play. But you're stuck there now. That bench is horrible. And you're stuck on a team that plays no defense. Brooklyn plays no defense. They just don't. Harden doesn't know. He probably can't even spell the word defense. Now you're stuck in a team that's not going to go anywhere. Yeah, everybody picking off season. You're going to do all this, but guess what? You're not going anywhere. And realistically, they may not say it. Golden State took it to your ass last night for a reason. Because you was acting like a little bitch out there. You got a little fight with Draymond Green, and you decided you're going to take off and run. At some point, Kevin Durant, you're talented. You're a talented individual, but you got to take all that emotional stuff out your system and start dealing with stuff like a man, bro. You and Draymond worked out, stay there. You could win yourself another 2 or 3 championships. You think you're going to win that in Brooklyn? I don't think so.
Well, I got a few questions. I know we're going to talk about a little bit later about the way the refs are calling games and things of that sort. I love it. But why aren't they teeing up LeBron James in street clothes out there in the court acting like the coach of the LA? It's really making the coach of the LA Lakers look really bad when LeBron James talking to the refs and all that. For the life of me, I can't figure out why they're not teeing him up and putting him on the second row behind the bench. And what the hell is the Washington Wizards doing in first place of the Eastern Conference?
I love it. Anyway, what? Anyway, I'm going to go with your first question. I'm going to answer your first question. LeBron James is the money, man. He's the showpiece. He's the guy out there. They got him out there. So, I mean, as long as he's not out there smacking babies and punching little kids in the stomach, he can walk out there and walk around. He has got a little bit free reign. So, I mean, and it's good to see him. People want to still say, oh, LeBron, is he back yet? No, but he's really involved in the game. You see, he's out there talking to the referees in the street.
That makes his coach look very bad.
Oh, no doubt. But going into it, you kind of knew how that was. It's not like the coach is really, when you look at it, there was always questions about Frank Vogel. I mean, always questions about the coach anyway, from the standpoint. So we know all that too, but it is what it is. When LeBron comes back, people will say he's the coach anyway, so it's not that really big a deal. But to answer your second question, the Washington Wizards, I tried to tell y'all early on, they got that AKA Washington Wizards, AKA the 12 Angry Men. Tried to tell y'all. Dudes are angry, bro. They come in there balling. Montrezl Harrell, I want to not say that name so many times. Everybody threw him away, said he was garbage. Dude's averaging like 18 points and 11 rebounds coming off the bench. He is playing possessed. You got Kuzma over there. Bradley Beal is people just mad because they feel like they've been thrown away. It's like when you watch Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer on the Island of Misfit Toys. They ready to come back to civilization. They mad as hell. They looking for a reason to get off the island, bro. And they have done it. I mean, I don't know how far they gonna go, but right now they look good. I like watching them. Also, too, I like Chicago. I just like the feel. I love the fact that when you see Ball playing point guard, you know, you throw all that crap out his dad out the way. He's playing with some guys that like to get up and down. He is perfect for Zach LaVine.
Yeah.
Perfect. Because LaVine tries to bring the ball up the court in past season and try to get his own shot. Anybody that's ever played basketball knows when you are a shooter and a scorer, it's very difficult for you to create your own shot and score. It takes more time and it also takes more effort. If you got a guy that's looking for you and just letting you do your thing, what they should be doing, Ben Simmons. Anyway, you didn't hear me say that. But when you have somebody like that, that's giving you the ball in the right position to score, it's a lot easier to do that. But I'm impressed by them. And I know people are dogging Brooklyn. I ain't mad at that too, but they still in third place. That's all I'm going to say. So we'll see how it plays out. They're still in third place, even though they are horrible, not playing no defense, all that. They're still in third place in the East. Miami's in the fourth spot. Also, I think Golden State is the real deal. What I'm impressed about with Golden State is the factor that Steph Curry and Draymond Green, as you guys mentioned, the younger guys now understand their positions, right? So when you go to the three-point line, you're not just jacking it up. You're taking it in the flow. These are practice, the shots that you're taking in practice, and you're hitting them. And now you got guys like Kevin Looney, right? Nobody really, you know, the unsung hero in a lot of ways. Looney was a guy that was just athletic, playing ball. You kind of say, he really just, he's talented, but he doesn't really know his role. He now knows his role.
Yeah.
So now he's making plays. And then you're going to bring back Wiseman as well. So they have some things, Wiseman, and then also
and Klay Thompson.
Klay Thompson too. Yeah, I mean, both of them. So Wiseman and Thompson, yeah, and they playing with a little angry too. You know, Klay Thompson mad as hell. Y'all left him out there 75. Yeah, he really pissed off. So he come back. He really coming out with a vengeance. So I like the way that they're playing. And last but not least, I'll say this: another team that came out the ashes, and we didn't know what was going on with it. Phoenix is in second place, bro.
Yeah.
Here they come again. Here they come again.
Yeah. If I was, I know they said Zion Williams is coming back, and they're 2-13, bro. Don't rush, bro. Don't rush. Don't let them rush you out in the court. Y'all not going anywhere. You're 14th in the conference. In Houston, they just tore up their team. And where is John Wall?
They paying him to sit, bro.
Jeez.
I really do. I think John Wall's career is over, man. And that might be hard to swallow or to hear. I think that brother's career is over, man. And it's no surprise he's not in Washington. And look what they're doing, bro. And we talked about that years ago. Should they have gotten rid of one of them? Well, one is gone, and the team is up. So I just think I think he's damaged goods. I don't think he's going to pop up again. And, you know, I hear people say about, you know, Ben, like, nobody wants Ben anymore, bro. Ain't like we want him. Nobody wants him. And he's making it worse. I mean, I hear you, Ice, when you say give him the ball here and there, but again, with that contract he has, who's bringing that headache in?
I get that. I mean, my thing is, from the beginning, for everybody talked about how horrible he is and he's not a player or whatnot, I still blame Philadelphia. They when you allow that to happen and the way you play them and the kind of coaches that you have around them, as you say, you've said this forever, Black Thor, when you coddle these young guys and you let them get in a certain way, then now you can come back 3-4 years later talking about he ain't this and that. You did it.
Yeah.
You did it. You put him out of position. You paid him the money. Now all of a sudden it's not working. Now you're everything but a child of God. Come on, man. I mean, it's just what it is. So the GMs, the team, coaches and whatnot have to take some of that responsibility. And that's what I do not like about it. I agree with everything people saying about him, you know, to a point, but y'all not helping it because you coddled him, telling him how great he was. And now you got all these going on with the Kardashians outside the thing. Dude's head's not right. Then he can't even, you got to threaten him taking this money for him to want to play. Dude, is basketball. You can pay all this money to play a game. That's what's messed up. That's what the council should be looking at, telling him, look, dude, you could be working at the airport. No disrespect to the airport workers, but damn.
Yeah, and he's still being fined. Because he's still being fined, and that can't be good on the pocket. I'm also looking at Milwaukee. They're getting Middleton back. Maybe they'll start to try to play like they're trying to get into the playoffs because they just seem like they're playing like we're just gonna wait around till Christmas time.
Yeah.
And we'll turn it on after that.
They full, bro. As I told you, they sitting at the table. Boy, they was hungry. They was working real hard. They full. They gonna play today. Oh no, man!
And Giannis is talking about.
You see my ring? You know,
Giannis is talking about. I don't know where I'm going to be in the next.
Yeah,
everybody.
He never said that before. Now he full, bro. Yeah. Now he can say that stuff because
I'm not mad at Giannis though, because
I'm not mad at him either.
No, bro. I say what it's the truth, because your contract is up in 3 years. You need a new challenge at that point. I ain't mad at him. Go do something. You brought the city a championship they ain't had in years. How can they be mad at you? Don't string them along. Let them know in 3 years I might be gone, bro. And I saw, your boys at the round table. I mean, I'm just gonna say this about Mike Wilbon, man. I like Mike, but don't put him up on that show. He's like he ready to go to sleep on that show, bro. like he ready to fall asleep.
That's his bedtime.
Yes, man. He's, you gotta find someone else out there. I'll be honest. I mean, Greenberg and Steven, they come on in the morning. Why are you dragging them up at 7 o'clock at night? You can't find no other talent. You can't score this country and find no other talent to put them talk about basketball. It don't have to be an NBA player. It doesn't have to be. But Greenberg, he's going to do everything on that show between him and Stephen A. Smith. Now you got Mike Wilbur, even Jalen Rose. I'm sorry. How about you do a job and find some good talent? There's got to be good talent out there. Maybe don't have names that can bring you something to a show, but those four are not it. And, I got a question I was going to throw out. I'm just going to say it right now.
Yeah, we're at that portion, so go ahead.
Realistically, what is ESPN going to do when LeBron tires? What are they going to do? What are they going to talk about? What are they going to do, bro? I know the NBA is going to exist, but how are they going to make a living once LeBron goes? Think about that. They have this. I must have seen it before the game started tonight. They showed him 30 times in shorts, taking a jump shot before the. Who cares, man? LeBron's not playing. So what are they going to do? Somebody tell me.
All right,
how's ESPN going to survive when LeBron's not playing?
Help this man, Ice.
Well, they already started it, and granted, it's a kind of an escape clause. They got that break. They got that person in the glass and break it in case of emergency, and that's Giannis. They are pumping the hell out of Giannis, and I'm not mad. They love Giannis. Giannis won the MVP twice. So be patient. And as soon as LeBron James goes down, they already starting it. Giannis is going to be his replacement. They're already doing it. He finally stepped up and they won the championship. So yeah, to answer your question, I hope you like Giannis then, because guess what? If you think what they're doing with LeBron, that thing with Giannis is boys all over here. Then now to the point where anything him and his brother do now is golden. It's like, and I'm sounding as a hater, but you talk about constantly now getting more exposure to. Now the brother getting exposure. I'm like, damn, was he all that good? But it's the story. It's what it is. You talk about LeBron that way. Here come the Giannis brother and his brother boys. Here they come. And then the whole story yeah, man. So yeah, to answer your question, Giannis.
I'm not sure what they're going to do, but Giannis is the Bleacher Report. They did a video that Wilt Chamberlain came back and he played against Giannis, and Giannis was, playing his old self. And Giannis was like, oh, it's just a pleasure, and I'm humbled to be on the same court with you. He said, I have so many questions. And his first question was 20,000? So yeah, I'm not sure what they're going to do. I don't know who is the next cash cow. I thought there was going to be Zion, but Zion is hurt. He's not really playing a lot, so they can't build around him. A lot of people just reject, for whatever reason, they reject Steph Curry. It's like they just can't believe he's as good as he is. Maybe it's KD, but KD sometimes is not media friendly. So I'm not sure. Maybe Devin Booker. I'm not sure who is the next one that they're going to follow and just kind of mention on every show, whether it's football, hockey, or whatever. I'm not sure what they're going to do, because they seem to find to put him in every sports show, regardless if the NBA is playing or not. It's about him and what he's doing and all the other stuff. And it's something that my dad said about the Manning boys. I guess he caught the channel when they were on. And he's like, man, I can't do this. And that ain't exactly what he said. He's like, I can't watch them. Why are they putting them on TV? What are they doing? And so it's like they have their favorites that they're trying to push up. And you can see it now. I'm not going to watch this special, but they're doing it with Brady. They're trying to do a last dance with Brady.
Yes.
I don't know why they get stuck on certain folks that have been overexposed instead of going. Look at Edwards over in Minnesota. I know the team is not really good. That brother is balling. There are a lot of people that are balling around the league that you should be focused on, that are media friendly, that are fun to watch. I want to know more about, but I guess they do a focus group, and maybe the people they're doing the focus group with just want to see LeBron. What's your take on it?
No, you said, you hit the nail on the head when you said overexposed, and it's true. Why would you go back and talk about every Super Bowl winner, Tom Brady? Who cares? outside of Boston, who's watching that garbage? Don't get me wrong. You tend to respect Tom Brady for what he accomplished, but outside of the New England area, nobody's watching that, bro. No one. Every Super Bowl, you're gonna go back and talk about what he did. No, I know he played for a long time, but I'm gonna go back to LeBron. I don't think Giannis can carry it, bro. I just don't think so. I think they're gonna find out that he can't. Giannis doesn't have that charisma, that attraction that people are kind of glued to, and it's just I think they're gonna fall apart because they're gonna finally have to be able to basically run without basically having someone as their focal group saying this is the person everybody's paying attention to. And that's part of the reason why LeBron is not loved like he probably can be. And it's not really his fault. It's because ESPN has made him out to be this, either you love him or you hate him. And more people now decide to try to hate him because they see the path that he goes. He's overrated to an extent, but not by his doing. But it's like, you gotta be kidding me. Realistically, bro. I mean, anyone that's basically past due, you want to bring them up. And you made a good point about the receiver. You got these new receivers in the NFL. You got these young players in the NBA. How about the young cat in Atlanta? The young cat in Atlanta. I mean, what he did in New York last year with the guarding, everybody getting mad at him. You should be following him everything he does. You don't even hear about him. Trey Young, I'm talking about. I think of his last name.
Yeah.
You don't even talk about him. I mean, seriously? That cat right there is it. He could be prime time. But no, it's got to be about LeBron. He's sitting on the sideline. And I don't care. I know he's money. But the NBA should not allow LeBron to talk to referees when he's not playing. He should not be out there, bro. And they should tell him personally, no, you're not allowed to talk to the referees. You're not playing. Any other player on the bench does that, I guarantee you'll be sanctioned. He should get the same effect. What you've done in the past is fine, but we're not dealing with that tonight.
All right, Ice, what's your question, man?
My question is, am I the only person that's scratching my head, but I'm shaking my head at the same time? How in the hell are the New England Patriots 6-4 and a half a game out of first place in the AFC?
Black?
AFC is that bad, man. That's what it is. I mean, it's just that bad. When you got teams that play Jacksonville almost to a tie, Cleveland don't want it. Cincinnati don't want it. I mean, even the Ravens. We thought the Ravens when they beat Kansas City, we thought Kansas City was basically kind of going down. And they were. And what has the Ravens done since? Tennessee is barely hanging on. The only team over there, in my opinion, is hanging on. And like Puma said, not San Diego, the LA Chargers, they were blasting everybody. All of a sudden, they went back to their old team. Believe it or not, Kansas City's damn near in first place again. First place. They were losing to everybody. How? But that's how the AFC is. No one wants it. So therefore, New England has beat some mediocre teams, and they only looked good last week against Cleveland. That's the only game they look good in. But now you look at them and go, whoa, it's a possible chance they may make the playoffs. Because realistically, Miami doesn't want it. You know the Jets don't want it. And the Bills may not even want it. They may not want it at the end of the day. I'm not sure the Bills want it. I'm just not sure. I'm not. And I know they're not in that division, but anytime you got to play to a tie, which, like, I'm going to say what somebody else said today, I consider a tie a loss. When you play to a tie, Pittsburgh Steelers to the Detroit Lions, I don't care who your quarterback is. Bro, you don't want it either. You don't want it. You don't. Who in the FC wants it? Nobody wants it.
Got one name for you. Belichick. Everybody threw Belichick away when Tom Brady left. And it took him a year to kind of get things going, get players in place. but he got him the quarterback he needed to run that offense. He always had a kind of steady defense. The defense is always going to be good. Come from that New York Giants, Cleveland Brown kind of, he was coaching there, and the defense has always been solid. But it's Belichick. And Black, you're right. None of those teams in the AFC won it. And I was talking to a young lady at the dry cleaners today, and she follows football. She probably watched the show. I know she used to listen to our podcast. And we were talking about, it's like, who's going to the Super Bowl? I'm like, I don't know. I can't tell you who's going to the Super Bowl in the AFC. Maybe Kansas City. Maybe out the NFC. I don't know. I just don't know, because from week to week, you cannot tell. And stay tuned to our NFL picks. I know they're sorry. I thought we couldn't get any worse. I was wrong. We got worse last week based on the play. But it's hard to kind of navigate. And the NFL got what they wanted, parity. But I can't call it. The only thing I can say is it was the coaching. It's the coaching that's got the New England Patriots in the position they are right now, and nobody else in their division or in the AFC wants it bad enough to take the mantle away from the New England Patriots. Ice?
Well, we know you got to definitely give as much as I'm not really big on giving too much credit, because everybody talked about how great he is, and I'm still looking at the folks in Cleveland like you left Cleveland high and dry. Anyway, that's for another day. That's an Ohio native telling you that. But you got to give credit to Bill Belichick. You hit it right on the head. The fact that he found a way to play. He had to find a way to get his team back to playing Patriot football, playing solid defense, having a decent running game, or at least having running backs that go into the slot, catch little small short passes and run for lots of yards. And two, as quarterbacks needs to limit his turnovers, and they need to have a solid passing game. Doesn't have to be fancy. Enter Mac Jones. And that's what they have. Everybody's talking about they trying to make him a superstar. It's not even about that. It's just limit turnovers, opportunities there, throw the ball, make some plays, and that's where they're winning. And again, we know what the Patriots are known for, particularly when they had Tom Brady, Super Bowls and everything included. They play you, they compete against you. You had an opportunity to beat them. If you don't want it, you know what? Don't worry about it. We got it. We'll take it. They take them, all the trash and everything, they pick it up. Oh, you dropped the diamond ring. You don't want it? I got it. Put it in my pocket. They pick up the trash, and they're glad to do it. They'll have no problem with it. You didn't expect us to be here, did you? But look at us. How you doing? That's how it is. So yeah, definitely with Belichick and the crew.
Remember that movie, The Great White Hype? And I guess the guy, the champion, played by Damon Wayans, dropped his ring, the gold ring he got, and the guys grabbed for it. And he's like, "Give me that gold ring." He's like, "Yeah, look good on you, champ." Yeah, New England Patriots. Yeah, that ring looked good on you, champ, because nobody else won in the AFC. Take it. Take it if it's there. Take it. Take it, because no AFC team is playing as solid as the New England Patriots right now. None. Last second shot before we go to our NFL picks. Black?
I'm going to go back to John Gruden, in a sense. And I'm hoping that this, even though he filed a lawsuit, that this not becomes a story that people pay close attention to or give any credence to, because realistically, let's not take the focus off what happened, not the point that he's basically trying to sue the NFL. And again, don't act like some people that was around him didn't know who John Gruden was and he looked the other way. Because there was a period of time before a black man got his knee in his neck and died, but black people just suck it up and dealt with stuff. And that's where we find ourselves.
Ice?
Yeah, I wasn't going to do this, but I'm going to do it anyway. I said, and I'm talking about NFL teams and one particular team. The Pittsburgh Steelers are the luckiest team in the NFL. They're dissipated by injuries. Half the people not playing. I don't know what's going on. They lost their receivers. They've had several weeks of bad play, but somehow or another, they found a way to beat the Seattle Seahawks 23-20. They had a tie with the Lions, 16-16, a game they should have lost. More people would tell you. They beat the Browns 15-10 in the game they should not have won. They beat the Bears 29-27. What in the hell is going on? They still won the games, to the point where you got Rudolph out there, and at one point, I think he got sacked 5 times. They do, and then you got Dwayne Haskins that they're on about, so he's not prepared, ready to play and run the team because of what he's doing on the checking his phone before the game, and they still winning. What the hell's going on? How's that? Man, I'll tell you what, NFL players, y'all ready to get yourselves together because fans are looking like the teams we expect to win are not winning. And people are going to be pissed off because they put money down. And you know how that goes. If you have ass playing, pulling people like Matt Ryan in the third quarter, you messing up the fantasy points and you messing up the money. Y'all better watch out. Might be some problems, some serious problems messing with people's money. That's all I'm going to say.
I told you during the summer when they extended Ben's contract that the Pittsburgh Steelers were not serious about winning. And this is my last second shot with the Pittsburgh Steelers on Haskins. I know I'm using this word wrong, but this is the way I feel about what you're doing. You are stupiding your way out the league. You just doing some stupid things. And you had a chance when Ben, because everybody knew Ben wasn't going to play the whole season. You had a chance to be a starter for a franchise Pittsburgh Steelers. And you can't beat out Rudolph. You are about to be out the league, bro. And it's all your fault. Stick around. We're going to do our NFL picks. The leadership board hadn't changed much, and our numbers are changing. They get a little worse, but still better than the experts. We'll be back. Welcome to our NFL picks. Let's go to the leaderboard, man. This is, I'm going to go to this right quick. Last week in week 10, Icewater had a 6-7 record, one tie, courtesy of the Pittsburgh Steelers, the Detroit Lions. It got to a point where I just turned the game off because somebody got the message wrong and said, you know, you're supposed to take a dive for the game. Both teams were just trying to take a dive for the game, and then it ended up in the tie. Black had a 6-7-1 record also. Pop had a 6-7-1. And just when you think that I can catch up, I can't catch up. I had a 5-8-1 record. Every time they have a bad week, I can't catch up. I'm trying to make hay. I can't make it. Overall record, Icewater has a 97-52-1 record. Blackdoor has the same record. Pop has a 95-54-1 record, and I have a 90-59-1 record. So, Icewater, give me your eye test on last week's games and what games kind of stood out to you, sir?
Well, I'm going to start with the Bizarro week. Everybody should know the Bizarro week. It started with the Dolphins beating the Ravens. And you're like, oh, that ain't no big deal. Yeah, then it all went downhill. And that's the point. You're like, damn, what's going on? Then the Patriots run up in the Browns. You know, I mean, Baker Mayfield, do me a favor, bro. Seriously. I'm here in Ohio. If your shoulder's messed up, I mean, they said, oh, his knee was messed up. He couldn't stand up. I was like, he's so damn tired and so beat up, he couldn't even stand up. He don't even know what injury to hold on to. Is it my shoulder? Is it my ACL? I was like, dude, just sit down. To that standpoint of, and it just kept going on. I'll let you guys talk about the rest of it. But what you think could go wrong, went wrong. And I tell you what, this is not our fathers and damn sure ain't our grandfathers in NFL. You dudes, man. Teams you think gonna win are not gonna win, and you don't know who's gonna do what because every week is a circus. It's a clown show. So I don't know. I'm still in here. I'm still hanging by closely, but I'm still where I need to be. So I guess that's better than the alternative. So I'm good.
Black, Papa is trying to figure out a way to slow walk the both of you, and both of you in the league. And he's like, this is really stink. This is really stink. And it's taking, I know when I'm calling him to get his picks, it's taking him longer to do these picks because of what's happening in the NFL. It's like this, it ain't his NFL no more. It ain't our NFL no more. I don't know what the hell's happening in the NFL. Black, your summary of last week.
I'm going to go to two things, man, because they think they're buying their way to the Super Bowl. I'm talking about the Los Angeles Rams, and they're not, bro. That was clear. That was one thing to me that was on display this past weekend. You can bring in OBJ. You can bring in this quarterback. You can bring in Von Miller. They were basically going right around Von Miller, doing what they had to do. Donald really couldn't get a rush. Basically, they're doing the same thing Cleveland did with OBJ. The first play, you trying to go long to OBJ, bro.
Interception.
Yes, it's like, and I think they're finding out slowly. I think the Rams are finding out slowly. There's a reason why Matthew Stafford was a Detroit Lion quarterback. They think you're finding that out. Everybody thought he was going to step in there and just light it up, become this great rookie quarterback that didn't play previously for 12 years, and we watched, and we all said, he's not that good. So they think, you think much of a job, you're going to find out because he's not. I think I look at the Tampa Bay, and I love this part. Tampa Bay will do this from time to time. Is that their defense is not as good as it was last year. I think their defense is full. I don't think they're excited. I don't think they're going to turn that switch on either. I don't think it's going to happen. But I love Bruce Arians. If you stink, you stink. Someone asked him at the end of the game, was it the quarterback making mistakes, or was it? No, it was the quarterback. And it was. He does not bite his word. Let Tom deal with it. Anyone else would be like, no. And I love that. I just think that some of these teams, these players or these teams, man, they have given up on consistency, bro. I don't think they line up every week with the will to play hard and win. You just don't see it. You can call it, last year you wanted to call it the pandemic, people understand, whatever the case may be. I don't know what you want to call this year because you just don't see it. Even you look at Green Bay and Seattle. You look at Green Bay. I know Aaron Rodgers, you missed a week. And you need to, I like Aaron Rodgers, but you got to start the man up, bro. Stop acting like a little sissy and act like every time he talks about you and your feelings and everybody comes to help you. And it's like, man up, man. You got commercials. You one of the best quarterbacks ever played this game, but you act like a sissy at times, bro. And I'm not ashamed to tell you. No one else is going to tell you on any other show. I'm going to tell you point blank. Stop acting like a sissy. Be a man about everything that goes on. You had the whole offseason to yourself. You act like a little tramp. I don't know if I want to play football. I want this. I want that. Knock it off, man. Stand up, be a man for crying out loud. I'm tired of it. Because like we said, this ain't our fathers, our old fathers NFL. That's why. Because a lot of these guys are sissified. I ain't afraid to say it. They act just like it, man. They whine, they complain. You either play the game with the pass or go home and do what the hell you want to do. I'm tired of it, bro. I'm serious. I'm tired of a grown man playing a full man sport, acting like a sissy. Knock it off.
I haven't heard that in a long time. It's a Black Thorn rant. It's a Black Thorn rant. Woo, woo, woo. I got a name for you for that Monday night game. Debo Samuel. What you got about 40? He was running through them like, it's my bike. I heard him before, but he was running up. And me and Ice were on a meeting. We were doing another show during the game. And I'm like, man, they can't stop him. Donald, Miller, they can't stop. They're just running right through the Rams. And then OBJ, I mean, it almost looked like if I just turned off the color off the screen, it almost looked like the Detroit Lions playing against whoever, and Matt Stafford back in the saddle again. It's almost like they figured out, let's put him back in that mode that he thinks he's Detroit Lions. So the pick order this week, Ice Water, you go first, followed by Black Thor, and I'm pulling up the rear. So I'm looking at everything y'all doing, and I'm going to counter it because my brother needs to catch up. All right, first game on tap is New England Patriots against the Atlanta Falcons. Ice, who you got?
Wow, New England and Atlanta?
Yep.
Oh, my God. What is going on? Oh, no, they pulled Matt Ryan out in the third quarter last week. And, a lot of people were just like, what the hell happened? I think that's going to be enough. I don't see them having enough. We mentioned earlier about the Patriots having defense, Mac Jones throwing the ball a little bit. I think they do just enough to win that game, so I'm going to choose New England.
All right. He goes with New England. Pop goes with New England also. Black, who you got?
I'm going to take New England as well, but I'm going to say this, man. It's time for Atlanta to let Matty Ice go, bro.
Yeah, I'm thinking the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to pick him up.
Yeah, it's time to let him go. It's time to start fresh. Just start fresh, man. Clean house, let Matty go. He got rid of Julio. It's time to start. That it didn't work. And Matt's just, I don't know. He's one of those quarterbacks that just can't get it done, bro. Just can't get it done. Maybe he didn't go to the right college. Maybe he doesn't take the right milk. I don't know what it is, man.
Blaming it on his college.
Yeah, he just can't get it done, bro. I mean, he just, for whatever reason, he can kind of look at the mountain, but he can't climb the mountain. But yeah, this will be a game the Patriots are shining, actually. The Patriots.
Maybe Atlanta will have fast flashbacks of the Super Bowl. I'm going with the New England Patriots also. It's a clean sweep. Next game on tap is Detroit at Cleveland. All right, so you got?
Oh, wow. Is Baker Mayfield playing?
Does it matter?
No, it really doesn't. I mean, yeah, it doesn't. I
You
mean,
could have Baker Mayfield's mama playing in this game.
yeah, just we feel sorry for Detroit right now, man, because all of the guys they tried to bring in and all of for motivation, and motivation don't win football games. You got to perform. And Cleveland was horrible last week. It doesn't matter who plays. I think definitely the defense is going to play a lot better because they were arguing amongst one another, saying they didn't give effort. So I think that's going to be enough, and they will win this game. So Cleveland.
All right. Pop is going with Cleveland at home. Black, who you got?
Yeah, I can't see myself taking Detroit, bro. I want to say this real quick. I know this cat, he's doing the commentary of the game. It's a name you don't hear about often. That's why I want to throw this in there real quick. Mark Jones for ESPN, bro, just turned 60. Don't look like it at all. Hell of an announcer, man. They brought a cake out to him in Milwaukee while the game was going on. The mascot brought a cake, and the whole stand, applauded him for turning 60. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to him. He's an unsung commentator in my mind. Does a great job. You never hear of his name, but he's just been consistent and does a hell of a job. Happy birthday, bro. But yeah, without a doubt, Cleveland, I can't trust Detroit, even though they had a half a win last week. I can't take them yet.
Even I showed a clip with Matt Stafford when they played Detroit, telling this team, you guys keep playing hard. Keep playing hard. I see you playing hard. Yeah, but they're not winning. At least they didn't lose last week, though. Thanks to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Cleveland, clean sweep on that one. I'm going with Cleveland. Next game on tap is Baltimore at Chicago. Ice, who you got?
Baltimore. Justin Fields is doing all he can, doing a miraculous superhero act over there, but you usually don't see Baltimore struggle that way 2 weeks in a row. So when you think about Lamar Jackson is going to get back on track. He's going to find the receivers. I think the defense will show up again. And unfortunately, Chicago, they're going to be the folks that are the victims of this situation. They're coming off a tough loss. So I'm going to go with Baltimore.
All right. Pop goes with Baltimore. Black, Baltimore just released Bell, and they were desperate need of a running back. That's another guy that may not find his way back in the league. I thought they could do something with him, but apparently not.
Just imagine how much he's fallen just leaving the Steelers, bro. And we forget he sat out a whole season and lost like what, 10, 15 million?
Yeah.
Imagine how much the Ravens easy with this, bro. I mean, when they need a running back and they tell you to go,
something else going on with that.
Yeah. I think he runs his mouth too much, man. He did that in Kansas City. He complains about not getting the ball. He still think he's like 10 years ago. It's like, you're not, bro. He doesn't realize, and you get tired of it. It's like, you know what? We'd rather lose without you than they win with you. You got to go.
Wow.
Take the Ravens.
Wow. All right. That's Baltimore across the board. I'm going with Baltimore also. Next game on tap is Green Bay at Minnesota.
Wow.
What we got?
Bad Kirk Cousins, good Kirk Cousins, bad. Which week is doesn't matter.
Good last week.
Huh?
It was good last week. They beat the Chargers.
Yeah, but this is a different animal. Green Bay struggled as far as trying to move the ball. You had the Rodgers coming off his issue and complaining and whining, and they're gonna turn it around now. They're gonna get back to where they need to be and play a little bit more steady game. So I'm definitely going with Green Bay.
Yeah. Pop was he was reluctant with going with Green Bay, but he went with Green Bay. Black, who you got?
Yeah, same thing. Green Bay owns Minnesota, bro. No matter how bad they are, no matter what happens, they basically own Minnesota, and they'll win this one, no matter where they play. I know it's in Minnesota, but it doesn't matter. They'll win this one.
Yeah, it's across the board with me with Green Bay, even though I think this could be a much closer game than we think. Green Bay across the board. Next game on tap is Houston at Tennessee. Ice, who you got?
Wow, Houston.
What's really $1 million quarterback sitting on the bench.
Right. Well, that's the case. Is Tyrod Taylor back now? Is he back? We're supposed to.
I know he played one of these weeks. Yeah.
Okay, but with all that being said, you had that, and when you look at the Texans, you just kind of shake your head. Who are they playing again? You go watch this.
Houston at Tennessee.
All right.
And see, I didn't say it this time, but go ahead. It's always longer when you pick first.
Oh, but no, actually, It's because I can't follow Black Thor. That's why. Anyway, I can't copy Black Thor. Anyway, but Tennessee, because Adrian Peterson is going to run hard and he's going to show you that he's worthwhile and score a couple touchdowns. He scored last week, but this is really bad situation for Houston, and it's still not the coach's team, so he has that built-in excuse. Tennessee.
Pop is going with Tennessee too, Black.
Yeah, it's interesting because the Texans are not getting the attention they deserve because that's a serious dysfunctional situation going on there, bro. From top to bottom, that's just bad. And I mean, almost to the point where they should just basically forfeit the rest of their games of the season and don't even show up, bro. Let's be honest. I mean, Tennessee.
Yeah, right.
Nothing else to say about this game.
Yeah, gotta go with Tennessee too. The lesser two evils, Tennessee. Houston is I don't know. I don't know what they're gonna do with that franchise, the players, all that other stuff. It's a place that players don't want to play anymore. Next game on tap is Indianapolis versus the Buffalo Bills. Ice, who you got?
Indianapolis. Wow, you're trying to get a little bit healthier. Buffalo is so up and down, but I think they right the ship this week. They know they're running out of time. Plus, they only have game up on New England right now, so they can't afford to be really messing up. So that being said, Buffalo.
All right, Pop goes with Buffalo. Black, who you got?
Yeah, I don't think the Colts are happy with Wentz, but they won't say it. But I'm gonna take Buffalo with this one because I think they will see the need that they got to start to play better. And like you said, New England's knocking on the door, bro. They knocking on their door, and I think they might surpass them. But they'll win this week. I'll take Buffalo.
All right, I'm going with Buffalo too. It's Buffalo across the board. Next game on tap is Miami at the New York Jets. All right, so you got?
This is drama filled. Craziness. Trying to think, what do I know? Let me consult my genie. Okay. All right, thank you. All right, yeah. Anyway, so I just got that. I'm ready. I'm set. I'm gonna go with Miami. Miami's gonna win this football game. Tua stepped up. They took out my man Brissett, pissed him off. He thought he was ready to go back in the game. He grabbed his helmet. No, hold on, wait a minute. And he's mad. Tua went over there, pat him on the shoulder. It's gonna be okay, brother. We're gonna figure it out when you try to go back in the game. So they'll have enough. The Jets have been bad for a long time. They might try to bring back an old quarterback from the dead. That's enough for Miami to win.
Yeah, Falco is starting. Pop is going with the New York Jets. Black, who you got?
Seriously?
Yep.
Wow, Pops. I don't, there's some franchises here just to never get off the snide. And New York Jets seem like it's one of them. They just can't, no matter what they do, it's like they just can't find a way to get things rolling, man. So with that being said, I know the Dolphins, I don't think they're that good. And at this point now, this may start to save the coach's job. If they can kind of put on a little winning streak, maybe they'll start this week. I'll take the Dolphins. I mean, not this week, continue from last week. I'll take the Dolphins.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Dolphins too. So Pop is the only one who chose a different team on that one. Next game on tap is the New Orleans Saints at the Philadelphia Eagles. Ice, who you got?
Oh my God. This is
the picks aren't going to get any better.
Yeah, for as much as I want to choose, wow. As much as I want to choose the New Orleans Saints, I'm looking at Philadelphia and the way that they can play. I would just wish they would let Jalen Hurts just kind of get a little bit more chemistry because he and Smith down the line are going to be ready to go. Oh my God. Let me think. New England, no, New Orleans, New England, same thing. Anyway. I'm going to go with New Orleans. New Orleans. I don't know why I think the defense might show up. I really thought about Philadelphia, but New Orleans is showing that they can get some things done. It's not pretty, but they still got Ingram. They still, when they get the ball to their real running back, they can make things happen. So it pains me, but New Orleans.
Sounds painful. Pop is going with New Orleans. Also, Black, who you got?
Yeah, it's a game that I looked at. I kept going back and forth, and I came up with Philly, man. I like New Orleans defense, but I don't think they're gonna be able to score the ball. I mean, that's one thing Philly is doing, man. They are putting some points up on the board. And even when they play the Denver defense, I'm not saying Denver defense is as good as New Orleans, but games that you don't expect them to show up, they show up. Speaking of the Eagles, I'm gonna take them in this one.
Yeah, I'm going with the home team also, Philadelphia Eagles. I picked them last week, and I'm going to roll with them until they let me down. So going with the Philadelphia Eagles.
No!
Next game on tap is the San Francisco 49ers against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Ice, who you got?
Jacksonville showed me something last week. No, I'm just playing. Anyway, San Francisco. I'm not even gonna waste the time with it, man. San Francisco, they just, it's just a sad situation down in Jacksonville. They don't know what's going on. They're trying to get it out the way as soon as possible. So San Francisco.
All right, Papa's going with San Francisco also. Black, who you got?
Yeah, I'm surprised people are saying Urban Myers will not be there next year. Why would they be saying that? Anyway, I'm gonna take San Fran. I don't understand. How does that talk happen? I just don't get it.
Man, he's been really quiet. He's been really good for the last couple of weeks.
Hey, man. Hey.
Lap dances, no
They
pizza.
paid her to go away, my brother. They paid her to go away. You know TMZ wanted to talk to her. You know TMZ wanted to talk to her.
I'm going with San Francisco.
Can I say one last thing before you go in there?
Yes.
You talking about all that noise, and I told you, if you want to live in Columbus, Ohio, stay here. You ain't heard a word, have you?
That story died down real quick.
Look. You're like, oh, wait a minute. No, wait, okay. You want to stay in Columbus, Ohio?
So that's San Francisco across the board. I'm going with San Francisco. This should be an intriguing game. You have Washington, who upset Tampa Bay last week, and at the Carolina Panthers, who they got your boy back, Cam Newton. Put him in for a couple of plays, 2 touchdowns. Superman is back. All right, so you got?
This is a tough game because now they're saying they're going to start Cam. Washington is playing tough. Quarterback looking strong. Just lost my man, though, for the year. I'm rolling with Superman. Let's go, baby. Superman. Carolina, baby. Let's go.
I was talking to Pop about the game last week, and he was like, I was just wondering what he was going to wear during the press conference after the game. So Papa's going with Carolina, too. They'll be banging that gong. Papa's going with Carolina. Black, who you got?
He toned it down. I don't know where he talked to him, but he toned it down in that press conference. He wanted to talk to him. I do like how Washington showed up last week, but to me, the key here is Carolina got their running back. They got a good portion of their offense back. With Cam playing now, that's going to be like a double-headed sword running the ball. I'm going to take the Panthers with this one.
Yeah, I'm going with the Panthers also because you just saw how much excitement it brought to the Carolina Panthers faithful. And then him coming back and seemed like he got a lot of new energy. I don't know how long it's going to last, but let's see if it lasts this week. Carolina across the board. This should be a good game. Cincinnati at Las Vegas. All right, so you got?
This is very difficult. Bengals coming off a bye. Raiders lost a couple games, but they've been known to kind of show up and whatnot. Their defense has been rising, going after Joe Burrow. Wow. Who should I take, Black Door?
Cincinnati.
Nah, that means I'm gonna choose the Raiders then. Got to go the opposite of what he said, because I don't want to think that that he has an influence on me. But you know what? That's right. They got a week back. I am gonna choose Cincinnati.
All right.
Cincinnati, because they're coming off a week. My boy Chase is back. That combination, you will hear a lot about them during the week. And I think that sometimes they can be overdue. The Raiders get too comfortable at home and with David Carr. So I'm going to choose Cincinnati.
All right. Papa's going with Cincinnati also. Black, who you got?
Yeah, I think the Raiders mentally are shot, man. I just do. I think it's too much happened to their team, the receivers, the head coach. I just don't think they're the same team they were maybe several weeks ago. And I'm going to take Cincinnati, man. I'm hoping Cincinnati rise up with the bye and realize they are better than what they showed before they going into their bye and take this. I'll take the Bengals.
Yeah, I after that last outing with the Cincinnati Bengals, it's like, okay, I forgot who you really are. So I know Las Vegas is messed up, but it's like I'm going with Las Vegas on this one. I can't trust it. I just can't do it.
remember the number. Remember the name Chase.
Yeah.
Number 1. You will see a lot of that in your highlights.
And at this point in the picks, I'm just enjoying my eggnog and just riding on the economy, side of the plane.
But at least you're honest. That's cool.
I catch up. Whatever. Next game on tap is Arizona at Seattle. All right, so you got.
Wow. Russell Wilson's playing. Arizona quarterback may be back or not, and they still doing about an AJ Green out there in Arizona. Anyway.
We said we were never going to mention that.
Over here, number 1 right now, baby. Number one. That one game. That one play. That one game.
Ever.
Yeah. So with all that being said, they're still trying to right the ship back. I'm going to choose Arizona. It just makes sense. Okay. Seattle is trying. I mean, Russell Wilson's trying, but you could just tell last week he can't save him, man. And his hand is not exactly where it should be. And I think they seem a little rusty. So with that being said, when Murray does come back, even if he doesn't, I'm still going Arizona.
All right, Papa's going Arizona. Black, I'm trying to figure out why Pete Carroll is never on the hot seat as coach.
Yeah, I was going to
at that Super Bowl when he made that decision. That team hasn't been right. We've said it over the years. The team hasn't been right, and he's never on the hot seat of getting fired. And now I see why Russell Wilson wanted to get out of there. People thought it was like a joke, and he was just trying to play. I think he was really trying to get out of it.
Yeah, I think so too. I think his wife wants to get out of it as well. I mean, she wants to be in a more area that's more populated and got more energy for her career. I believe. I'm with you, man. I'm with you. I think, and I said this right then. I knew he lost that team with that decision, but even beyond it, I just don't think his coaching has lived up to. I don't think he has. I think the game has evolved some, and Pete Carroll hasn't. He still wants to basically run the ball and do some things. Just not. You don't have the defense you had before, so I don't know. I think the owner though is loyal to him because he brought him a Super Bowl. So you feel that loyalty, and who else you're going to put in there? But you're right. If you look at him the last 5 years, I don't see it, bro. I just don't see his coaching. I don't see where his coaching has done anything. But with that being said, I think what's name is going to play this week, man. I think they're going to try to get the quarterback in there, even though they got to bye the following week. I think they're going to try to sneak and get Murray back in this week, man, and try to let him play. And to me, I was shocked. I was shocked that Russell played last week. I think that was the last. I mean, I didn't think he was healed. I think they rushed him, or he rushed himself back there, and it showed, man. He's not ready to play. He's not ready to play. He won't be ready to play this week. With that being said, it's easy for me to take the Cardinals. Even if Murray doesn't play, I'll take the Cardinals.
All right. It's Cardinals across the board. I'm going with Arizona also. This should be a good game. It should be a high-flying game, hopefully. It's Dallas at Kansas City. Who you got, Ice?
Wow, this is tough.
It was easy for Pop.
Oh, it's very easy for Pops.
Yeah, I couldn't even get the words out before he gave me his answer who's going to win this game.
Wow, Dallas versus Kansas City. Kansas City has struggled a lot. You know what? Kansas City's at home. Is it a 4:00 game?
Yes, it is. 4:25.
All right.
Numbers mean anything?
Yeah. Here's 1, drop to 2. Divide to 6.
The sun goes down at this time.
Look in the house of whatever. Yeah.
In the 11th house.
There you go. So I'm going with Dallas. I mean, Kansas City is up and down, and they probably will get hot against Dallas. And they don't play good defense, but kind of like the way Dallas is playing, and showing a little bit more. And y'all need to check out my man, one of the best receivers in the league, CD Lamb. Keep trying to tell y'all, is a baller. So Dallas.
All right, that's what that Pop said. Dallas too. Couldn't get it out fast enough. Black, who you got?
I don't know how CD Lamb fell to the Cowboys. That's my question. I just don't know how that to this day.
Shenanigans.
I don't know what other teams were watching. I don't get it. I mean, if you'd have got there in the 3rd, 4th round, you go, okay. In the 1st round, how you gonna fall to the Cowboys? But I'm going to take the Chiefs with this game, man. I think the Chiefs have kind of rightened their ship a little bit. I think they're going to kind of make a little adjustment. If it was in Dallas, I might look at the Cowboys. I think the Cowboys had a good week last week, but it was Atlanta. Let's be honest. It was Atlanta. They got to travel and go prove it. I don't know. But I got a funny feeling that Kansas City wants to prove that they are coming back and they're stronger and they're going to do everything they can to kind of win this one, man. I don't think the Cowboys has no one for number 10. If I'm saying this number correctly, that receiver, they got no one to hang with him. And you're going to see plenty of him. I'm taking the Chiefs.
All right. I'm going to go with Kansas City also with this. We'll see if Kansas City is all the way back. But their defense has to step up. Their defense has to step up. Let's see if Dak Prescott can play against a team that's a Super Bowl or a playoff contender. And let's see if they can handle that. Let's see if they can run the ball and stop slinging it. That's usually the winning recipe for Dallas, pounding the ball. Next thing I'm on tap is Pittsburgh at the Los Angeles Chargers. Ice, who you got?
Yeah, it doesn't matter who's the quarterback is. They got away with one last week. They tied. Chargers not gonna let they ain't gonna beat them tie this week. They will not be a tie this week. The Chargers are going to put it to them. So I'm gonna choose the Chargers over the Steelers. So it will not be a tie. And it's out west too.
Yes.
Yeah. Chargers gonna give it to them.
That's the night game on Sunday night.
Yeah, even better. Yeah. Pittsburgh's not gonna travel well. Chargers.
All right. Next, Pop goes with the Chargers too. Black.
Yeah, and maybe if Ben was playing, maybe I would think about it, but he's not. I can't even think that this other quarterback is going to do anything that can, not that I have, a lot of interest and energy feeling good about the Chargers, but the mere fact they're home and I think Herbert would outplay the other quarterback, I'm going to go with the Chargers.
All right. All my Pittsburgh Steelers fans, when you see them pull off Randolph, pull them out and put Haskins in, just turn the television off. Turn to another channel. You don't want to watch it. It's going to get ugly. It's going to get ugly. Los Angeles Chargers, even though they're slumping and usually they don't win too many games in the second half of the season, I still think they'll probably be better than the Pittsburgh Steelers. Next thing I'm on tap is Monday night, the New York Giants versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now, Ice, when I mentioned this to Pop, he's like, I got a good mind to pick the Giants. And I was hoping he would so I can kind of slow walk him, but he didn't go that way. Who you got?
I'm going to say this. I know y'all still living in the Eli Manning days. and Jones showed up and, y'all seeing Tom Brady and got old. Everybody said, oh, here you go again. Every year it's one. It takes about 3 times during the year. Tom Brady, he look old. Don't he look old? Yeah, see, he look old. He should quit right now. Okay, all right. Told y'all. Y'all just keep playing around. Gronkowski's not back yet. They just slowly but waiting. AB taking 2 lunches. They just slowly gonna get everybody back healthy, and they're gonna make a run. It may not start this week, but they're not gonna lose like that again to 2 bad teams. They will beat the Giants. I'm taking Tampa Bay.
All right, Pop.
Senior citizens, Tampa Bay.
Pop is going with Tampa Bay. Also, Black. Who you got?
Yeah, Tom Brady's going to play better this week, man. His feelings are hurt. He's embarrassed. His coach called him out. We saw it on national television. If he plays bad this week, oh my goodness, man. But he's going to do better this week. Of course, I want the Giants to lose anyway. So Tampa Bay, just on that only notion, though, Giants, I want them to lose.
That's a fan, folks, of the Giants. I'm going with Tampa Bay also. It's Tampa Bay across the board. Those are our picks. Check us out on Twitter and on Facebook at the Goon Squad Sports Radio Show. We will be back next week. Hopefully we'll have better results this week because the last 2 weeks, PU. It's the fight game with yours truly, Puma and Ice Water. And Ice Water, I'm sitting here trying to figure out, before we get to the big fight this weekend with Crawford and Porter and our predictions, Canelo is pulled another one. He's going to fight the cruiserweight champion. I've never heard of this guy before. I've probably never seen him fight before, but this is my beef with Canelo. There are a ton of fighters that he can fight, but he chooses to cherry pick and grab another champion from another weight class going up in weight. And I don't really know too much about this guy. Maybe you know about him. What's the deal?
Well, the deal is he's asked, for permission to fight up at cruiserweight, right? And I think what he's done, I'm not sure they really have made a decision to fight this guy. They talked about it, but I think part of it is it opens the door for one, people talking about it. We're talking about it now. Why would he do that? So he's still relevant even after he had that fight with Plant. But it opens the door for another possibility. The other possibilities we already know of, fighting at light heavyweight, right? Beterbiev, Bivol, Beterbiev, Bivol, and guys like that. And then also Beterbiev at light heavy. Then coming down to the fight everybody wants to see is Charlo, right? Mm-hmm. And David Benavidez, possibly too. So at middleweight, so or a little higher than that at 168. So I think he's opening the door or keeping it open for a lot of different things, and he's gonna make a decision. So it really ticks people off because they want to see the better fights. But I think it's about legacy. Remember when Roy Jones went up to heavyweight and fought John Ruiz, kind of picked him off so he could say he had that under his belt. So who knows with Canelo? We know he's the face of boxing right now, and he's kind of showing you, I can do what I want to do, and you may not like it, but somebody's going to watch.
Well, I'm inclined not to watch anymore until he fights somebody who's really a serious contender or another champion in the weight classes that he seems to be running away from. I'm going to say it. He's running away from these guys. And to be honest, I think he's waiting until they're past their primes and maybe trying to pick them off there. And like we said it, every week, he's learned from the master, Mayweather. And so I was talking to some buddies of mine about it. And some of them had a feeling that, Canelo is one of the best ever. And the others see the same thing I'm seeing. He's cherry picking. He's not really fighting the top guys. It's almost like he wants to charge the top money to fight in these championship fights, but it's not the top contenders. And then I had a discussion with my daughter, who actually back in the day used to fight, and we were talking about the fight. And she was like, yeah, he's cherry picking. And she was explaining it to a group that she was around watching the fight. And she was like, why doesn't he fight the best fighters in these weight classes? And so even when my daughter, and my son also, they both box, when they're saying it and they used to be in the ring, it's like it's all about fighting the best competition. And will his legacy be tarnished if he doesn't fight some of these fighters that are, some of the best guys in the business?
I mean, to a point it may be because people want to see him. I mean, now he's at the apex of his career. So when you want to see him, and he's been going through a lot of people. But it might be tarnished a little bit, but he'll still be Canelo. Will he be considered the greatest of all time? I don't think that's ever going to be a chance. But he might be considered one of the best during this era or whatnot. The other name that could possibly come up, and really people don't know, and this guy's gotten older and might be right for the picking, might be another cherry picked selection, could be Triple G again. Yeah, and people will pay for that again. Triple G's will be 40. And but now when we just mentioned that's like almost 5 to 6 different selections that he can select from.
Yeah. All right, Crawford Porter this weekend. And you want to hear my prediction first, or you want to go with yours?
Go ahead. I'm willing to listen.
I really like Porter, and I've been going back and forth with this decision on who would win this fight. Porter is like, to me, the modern day Joe Frazier. He's just going to keep coming at you. He's going to keep coming at you. But I can see Crawford's speed and his endurance picking off and really kind of breaking down Porter. And it may go the whole distance, and Crawford will come out as the winner. I'm not looking at it as going down in the 10th, 11th, or 12th. I think Porter's going to be there for the whole duration. I don't see him getting knocked out by Crawford. I see Crawford, I'm saying, either winning a split decision or a unanimous decision. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I kind of thought that way too, but I'm going to say this. I think the one thing people are not looking at, and I think that Crawford is an amazing talent, right? He's shown you how dominant he can be coming up the ranks, 135, 140, right? And now he's saying, I'm gonna move to 147, been there long enough. Now I'm fighting into deep waters. And we know we expect him to outbox him, as you said, and then maybe, kind of move around. And you saying that you mentioned Porter being more the modern day Joe Frazier coming forward and putting his forehead on his chest and hitting him, that kind of thing. But against Danny Garcia, Porter showed you could box a little bit.
Yeah, he did.
And I'm not saying, I don't think he can win a boxing match, okay? He's still gonna have to be, as you said, rough and tumble, be tough inside and really be very physical with him. But I think the one thing Sean Porter has to do, he has to hurt Crawford. He has to hurt him. And granted, he just has to put him in a place, and that's what he said he's planning to do. He's trying to put him in a place where he's not comfortable, because we know we've seen Bud Crawford be in a bad place because he's a slow starter often, and he got clipped. In fact, he got knocked down one time in one of his fights that they didn't count. So if the other part, I think people are really, as much as they want to give Terrence Crawford a lot of love for the skill set, I think they're really diminishing the talent that Porter has faced.
Yes.
He's been in the ring with some tough guys. He's been into deep waters with Errol Spence Jr. And have we really seen Terrence Crawford backed up in a place where he's not comfortable?
It's true.
I want to see that. Does that mean he can't get out of it? I'm not saying that. But I want to see when he's taking the deep waters, if the plan works for Porter, can Crawford handle it? And the one thing I do say, I know we don't know what's going on as far as the sparring. The one thing I'm impressed by is, and maybe they do this all the time, but recently, I know that Porter brought in a couple sparring partners that people were like, wow. He brought in one of the Durrell brothers, who really is a top-notch guy too, and really is a banger. And then he also got into the a sparring session with Tank Davis.
Wow.
So Javante Davis. So he's serious. Not many people go and get a undefeated champion and bring him up to camp when you are this close, because anything can happen. You can get cut or anything, and go banging with him. So I don't know if that's going to lead over, how that's going to spill over into the fight, but I do know that I like Porter. I think Crawford. If you asked me for a prediction, I would agree with that. Crawford probably will win by decision, but the caveat and the little part of me is saying one thing, Crawford's gonna have to prove it, because Porter's like, I'm not the other guys. He said, you never faced anybody like me before. And we're going to see how good you really are. And that's the thing. That's the one thing people are not giving Crawford, Porter love for. He's been in with Errol Spence. He was this close to the 11th round. He's been in with Danny Garcia, right? He fought Keith Thurman. He fought Adrian Broner. He's been in the mix, bro. He's been in there with these guys. He beat you guys. The guy that's the chairman to beat Pacquiao. So I don't know. I mean, I'm gonna say it because that's what I'm paid to say. But I might be looking at them books to see if I can get a little something extra on Porter. Because in my heart, I love Porter because he's from the Midwest. He's from Ohio. Just a good dude and a fun guy to be around. And I like his chances. I am looking forward to this fight because, as you know, when we had Buddy McGirt on, right? I was one of the guys that called for this. And thank you, WBO. So, yeah, this is going to be a hell of a fight. Ladies and gentlemen, tune in, get this fight. You want to see something, these guys are going to give it to you.
I'm trying to figure out who had the longer layoff, because it seems like it's been a real long minute that Porter's been in the ring. And I can't remember the last time Crawford's been in the ring. But it just seems like Porter had a longer layoff than Crawford.
Actually, I think it was Crawford, because Porter fought, but I think Crawford had the longer layoff simply because they were waiting on Pacquiao, remember?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
We were waiting on Pacquiao, and that did not come to fruition because now we're hearing reports, it's almost a guaranteed, they're hearing whispers that this is Terrence Crawford's last fight with Top Rank.
Mm-hmm.
He's not going to re-sign the contract because his contract expires with this. And then at that point, it's going to be wide open. I'd say, I don't know what's going to happen here, but I said it before, but I think one of the wild cards in this situation is for the loser would be to fight Ugas. Okay. Ugas has a belt, and Terrence Crawford would need to get back on top. And I think he would want a rematch if he loses, but if he doesn't get it, you can look at Ugas, who has a belt. And Sean Porter has already beat Ugas. Ugas swore that he won that fight. So he would love to have that rematch too. But gonna be a hell of a matchup. I'm finally glad somebody woke up. And I said this before to someone else, that for as much as Terrence Crawford didn't go looking for this fight, for him to get to where he wants to go and be the champion, as he said he wants to be, and receive the possible admiration and also recognition so he can possibly line up to fight Errol Spence, he needs this fight.
Yeah.
Because I know that people are like, oh, who have you beat at 147? I'm the first one to say that. But this fight, whatever he does in this fight, if he's dominant in this fight, he's not going to have to worry about people talking about really how good he is.
I think that money is going to come. If he has a dominant performance in this fight, everybody's going to want to see him fight the best of the best in the weight classes.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think if he wins this and if Errol Spence comes back and heals properly, I think that fight's a given.
Yeah. It's not Nebraska anymore. That's for sure. We'll be back and we'll talk about the fight next week. We'll talk about the undercard because I really don't know who's under the undercard, but usually you catch a good fight and we'll talk and recap that fight next week. Peace.
So Haskins, don't tell me he's still doing his phone on the sideline. That was Washington.
No,
the coach
still doing it.
Yeah, there are coaches that are saying, you know, this dude, it's just a matter of time, bro. They can get another quarterback. I think he out. Yeah, he ain't learned shit.
Yeah,
man.
And yeah, they articles and Yahoo, they were like, the coaches were saying like, this dude ain't ready. He ain't trying to be ready.
Yeah.
You know, exercising, warming up. You know, he's like he's not there.
It's the same one his wife was with.
Yeah.
You better get that money back from that OnlyFans.
It's sad because, like you said, at some point, probably at the end of the season, he's gonna get kicked out of the league, and then what's gonna happen? The money that he has is gonna drop real quickly. Your wife's gonna act stupid and leave you, and it's gonna be messy, bro. And you're right. He's been given 2 great opportunities. Washington wanted him to succeed. They did. And it's like, bro, I don't get it. I mean, that's like, he sounds like he's a 12-year-old. He just does.
Like I say, stupiding his way out the league. Just doing stupid, dumb shit. And it's going to cost you.
And then Harden, he's lost because they didn't change the rules on him.
I've been wanting to talk about that for weeks. We'll get it in on this episode. All these guys complaining about, the refs aren't calling the calls. I absolutely love it.
It's about time.
Yeah. All them, Harden, especially with Harden, grabbing people and then looking like he got fouled. And I love it. I love it. I love it.
Jumping into somebody taking a shot. More concerned about getting fouled than making a point, making a basket.
Well, here's why I think I was told that they made the rule too, is because, I always said that I couldn't stand watching Harden play because the game is so much slower. You're going to the foul line, you're stopping the game, stopping the flow. And that's what they were saying, that most people, you're in the foul line, foul shot, they turn to another channel. You don't get them back. Oh, your boy Darren Williams Darren Williams and Frank Gore going at it. I'm not gonna watch that. I'm not gonna watch it.
Why not? That's your entertainment.
I'm not gonna watch
Look,
it.
I watch this, Black Door. I heard it was sponsored by Snoop Dogg.
If Snoop Dogg is commentating the fight, I'll watch it. If he's not, I'm not gonna watch it because he's entertaining to himself. If Snoop Dogg commentates the fight, I will watch it.
See,
Only way I'll watch it.
Entertainment, I told you.
That's crazy, man. That's crazy.
Player and
Yeah.
basketball player, they're touting it as the NBA against the NFL.
So who better than than commentators? Got to be Snoop Dogg, because you gotta have to be high to enjoy that for real. You gotta be high.
Oh man.